Am I the only one who didn't know there was five movies in the Psycho franchise? Hi, my name is Ushin, and if you like horror content in whatever shape or form, I do horror rankings of the big franchises. Like behind me, I've got The Purge. Haven't ranked or Nightmare on Elm Street yet, and as you can see, I'm doing Psycho. So if you want to see future rankings plus previous rankings, then movie reviews for any horror movies upcoming or just previous installments in that franchise, click that subscribe button so you can see more content from me. For me, the Psycho franchise, I only found out last year that there was other movies. I knew the original and I knew there was a remake that nobody liked, but I didn't know about 2, 3, or 4. And then on Netflix, I came across Psycho 2, watched it, and the rest is history. Started making my way through the Psycho franchise. But before I give you my opinion and my ranking of the Psycho franchise, make sure you know your ranking in the comment section down below. Which ones you love and which ones you hate. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. But with all that said, let's go on to number 5. And coming in the last place is the obvious pick that everyone always goes for, but of course it is Psycho 1998. I had gone into this with a bit lower expectations because I know that everyone keeps out about it, and when I heard the fact that it was a shot-for-shot remake, that kind of went me going in and going, what the hell is the point in a shot-for-shot remake? I still don't know what the point is in a shot-for-shot remake because there is no difference in this movie. As I was watching it, I was thinking, I've seen this before, but in black and white, and it's from the 60s, and it works better. The story of Psycho works better in black and white. I don't know how, I don't know why it does, but for whatever reason, it just works better in black and white. Vince Vaughn is an actor who I've always been a fan of Vince Vaughn. Going back to when I was younger, watching him in stuff like Wedding Crashers or Dodgeball. So many great comedies with Vince Vaughn, and I know he's capable of doing horror. He was in Freaky last year, and he was my favorite part of that movie. But in this movie, it feels like he's trying to copy Anthony Perkins, which of course is a shot-for-shot remake, so of course he's going to try and copy him. But he tried to copy him instead of kind of doing his own thing. I think if Vince Vaughn did his own thing and kind of put his own kind of charm on this movie, it would have worked a lot better for Vince Vaughn within this movie as well as the movie as a whole. I think letting Vince Vaughn be more of himself might have worked a good bit better because other than a really weird and out of place masturbation scene, there's really nothing new in this movie. Nothing at all, nothing groundbreaking. On Letterboxd, the quote they had to describe this movie was like it was like a reinvention of a classic or a reimagining of a classic, and that's not true because this movie is the exact same as the original. And coming in fourth place, I've got Psycho 4, The Beginning. The way this movie decides to go about telling the prequel storyline and kind of giving the behind the scenes of what happened to Norman Bates in his childhood, I actually liked. I'm glad they didn't go for the stereotypical prequel and just have from start to finish and then the movie ending where the first one picks off. I'm kind of glad what they done was have Norman Bates talking about his past, and then we kind of get to see it from the actual perspective of Norman growing up. I like the way they done that as well. I would have liked to see a bit more of adult Norman Bates, since because it's the last time we're ever going to see Anthony Perkins playing the role. I would like to see more of him within this movie. Henry Thomas, who played the younger Norman Bates, he's fine. He doesn't bring anything new. He's nothing amazing. He's nothing groundbreaking. He's actually quite forgettable. Watching him in this movie really wants me to watch Bates Motel, which I've heard is a fantastic show, so I want to watch that now after watching Henry Thomas's performance in this. At the point where this movie came out, it would have been 29 years, give or take a few years, on when Psycho came out, so we finally got to see what Norman Bates' mother was actually like with him. I think she's a bit over the top in this movie. She's a bit dramatic. She literally flips her kind of mood and everything about her just flips on like it's like just flicking a switch in the wall. But for the most part, I liked her. I think as in I liked how as a horror character I liked her in that. I didn't like her as a actual character, but I enjoyed seeing where Norman Bates finally wrapped off. He wasn't attached to mother. He wasn't heading to prison. The way he wraps up is he's married and he's got a kid in the way, and I think that's just a really good way to end the story of a man who's just been troubled his entire life, and it really is. And if you don't count the prequel, or not the prequel, if you don't count the remake, these 4 movies, I actually think there isn't actually a bad one. And coming in third place, I've got Psycho 3. I fully went into this movie fully expecting it to be a bad movie. There's no reason behind that. No one told me it was bad. I knew nothing about it. I just went in thinking, okay, Psycho 3, this could be a bad one, but I don't think it is. It's a fine movie. I actually would pick this one up on Blu-ray if I was able to get my hands on it. I think the Norman Bates continuation story, it works out well. I think the mystery element of this movie is easily the weakest part, because at this stage we can see it going either one of two ways. We can see it go the route of Psycho or Psycho 2, if where he is the killer or he's not the killer. So it can go one or two ways. And I thought it was fairly obvious which way it was going to go pretty early on. I thought the Maureen storyline, though, that was the best storyline of the entire thing. Wondering if she was going to find out, how she'd react. Just wondering, is Norman actually going to be able to kind of move on from his mother and kind of have a life with someone? I thought that storyline was quite interesting. The Emma Stool character, that continuation from the first movie, or from the second movie, wasn't as strong as you would like it to be. It didn't continue it on as kind of much as you would expect it to continue on from the end of the second movie. But as a whole, Psycho 3 is a movie that I actually will see myself going back and watch again. Psycho 4, I'm in no rush to go back. I think I could probably go my life without rewatching that movie. But Psycho 3 and the two after this, or two before this, I would happily go back and watch anytime. And my runner-up is the classic Psycho. I do enjoy this movie. I've only seen it twice in my life. About 2017, 2018, my auntie got me a poster. It's one of those posters where you've got the 100 movies and you scratch them off, and then Psycho was in the corner, and I've heard about Psycho pretty much all my life, so I decided, okay, yeah, I'll finally give it a watch. I think the first act is quite slow. I think until she gets to the hotel, it is slow enough. I was actually quite surprised to hear that is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. I was quite surprised by that. I think once Norman Bates comes into the picture, it gets so much better. Anthony Perkins was fantastic in the role. I love the look of this movie. I think the black and white, as I said when I was talking about Psycho 1998, looks so much better. I love the mystery element. Just the negative with that is that it's not really a mystery anymore because everyone knows it. But I love the mystery. I actually didn't know the reveal at the end that Norman thinks he's his mother. I thought the mother was alive, but I knew about the shower scene, I knew about all that, but I didn't know that the mother was the one who Norman had his mother in his mind. Really, the whole reveal at the end, it was good, but I knew majority of the movie, so it didn't really stick the landing as well for me. I guess if I watched it without knowing it would be a lot better, but it is my number 2. And coming in first place, I've got Psycho 2. I think this movie is criminally underrated. When I first watched it, as I was watching, I was thinking, is this good or am I tired? And as I kept going, I was thinking, okay, this is better than Psycho. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, this is 100% better than Psycho. I don't know why this movie doesn't get spoken about. I don't know how I went so many years without knowing this movie existed, because I think this is a fantastic continuation on Norman Bates. I honestly went in expecting this to be a bad movie, just purely because, okay, it takes place, 23 years later. So I went in expecting it to be bad, but I thought the mystery element to this movie worked really well. I think Psycho, the original Psycho, has a bit of a negative point to that because it's so well known. Everyone knows the reveals. It's not a surprise. But Psycho 2, I knew nothing about it. As I was playing out, I was watching the story play out, watching the reveals and the mystery element being played out to me on screen. And that could be one of the reasons why I like it more. But I just think Norman Bates, Anthony Perkins, he is the best in this movie as he is in the entire franchise. Meg Tilly, I think she's fine. I don't think she's amazing. She's a good female lead, but she's not the best. I think she's got a good story, especially with her mother. That whole storyline with her and her mother, and then her and Anthony Perkins, works really well. I just think this is, honestly, it's a fantastic movie, and throughout the entire movie I was wondering whether or not Norman is innocent or not. And if you haven't seen Psycho 2, just watch Psycho 2. I definitely think it's better than Psycho. So that's my ranking of all 5 of the Psycho movies. Make sure to let me know your ranking in the comments section down below. Which ones do you love, which ones do you hate? Let me know all that in the comments section down below. And remember, if you want to see more horror content from me in the future, as well as previous stuff, I'll leave a link up here to 2 other horror rankings I've done in the past. If you want to see more in the future, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.